All right, Rockhurst hockey fans, we're getting ready to do a makeup game here at Independence Community Ice Center. This game was originally scheduled for the weekend we had all the snow. And so this is a makeup game. Here comes the teams. It's the Rockhurst Hawklets versus the Mid-Missouri Tigers. And these two teams usually play a pretty good game, pretty passionate game. So we're going to see where we come out today, but I'm looking forward to some good hockey here tonight. It's Tuesday night, but Mid-Missouri has been kind enough to travel all the way up here to play this makeup game. We certainly appreciate that effort. So we've got a 5-minute warm-up period here, and we'll be underway. Get everything set here. So this is the last game of the Rockhurst regular season. We start the tournament on Friday, the year-end tournament, and that will also be coming to you live from Independence Ice Center. All the teams from around the region will be in here playing. We're going to have some great hockey next weekend. Rockhurst seems to be coming on pretty strong here at the end of the season. Rockhurst won against St. Joe on Saturday night. Super exciting game. And it was 1-0 throughout most of the game. Rockhurst held off St. Joe, and at the end of the game, St. Joe pulled their goalie, and Rockhurst was able to stuff one in to cap it off. So last Thursday, St. Joe and Rockhurst played, and St. Joe was able to pump quite a few pucks in the net. However, Rockhurst was missing a number of players. Rockhurst is now back close to full strength. Other than one injury that I'm aware of, I think we've actually got a full varsity team -1. So I'm expecting a little bit more of an even match tonight. So Mid-Mo is wearing the very familiar Missouri Tigers theme with their visitor white jerseys with black gold trim. Rockhurst in their home blue jerseys with the crest. A little cool in the rink here this evening, so we don't have too many fans in here yet, but they usually filter in right about the time the warm-up session ends. Rockhurst looking pretty amped up here. I got the whole rink in the camera here. We don't have a great vantage point here at the Independence Ice Center, but we'll do the best we can. We've got under a minute left in the warm-up session. Rockhurst actually looking pretty energized right now, just skating. I'm looking forward to this one. So if you missed it on Sunday, Rockhurst had Senior Recognition Day, where we had Bennett Coleman, Riley Teven, and Truett Latz were honored, the only 3 seniors on the team. And there's the buzzer indicating the end of the warm-up session. The only 3 seniors on the team were honored. We have some great young players coming up. I'm expecting some good things next year for this Rockhurst squad. Rockhurst gathering down at the net. We have a 15-minute period. 15-minute period in the varsity games. Rockhurst breaks. Sending out their starting lineup. Which looks like it's going to be Coleman centering with Kress, Teven on the wings, Cowan and Klump on defense. Strong line to come out on the starting lineup. Coleman pulls it back to Cowan. Mid-Missouri comes through, pushes it in. Callahan chasing up the boards. Coleman comes in behind, trying to keep it in. Rockhurst dumps it down in behind the mid-mo net. Coleman chasing, checking, badgering the way he usually does, and he's coming away with the puck. He is tying it up in there. 2 players in there, and Teven comes out with it, picks up the loose puck. Backhand attempt by Callahan. Couldn't quite get a stick on it, but good pressure there by Rockhurst. Mid-mo sends one all the way down the ice, tipped by Rockhurst, so that's not an icing. Cowan tries to send it back up. Puck comes out to the mid-mo point. Long shot. They just dump it into the corner. Here comes Rockhurst. Callahan on the ice. No, Christian coming in, picking up the puck, drops it off at the point. Shot by Rockhurst on goal. Horntager on defense, dumps it back in. Kress chases down in low. Tavish picks it up, fires one down all the way in. Kress chases. Kress gets there first. 2 players come in from mid-mo. They break it out. coming through with some speed. Rockhurst passes it up to Kress. 2-on-1. Shot. High shot by Corntager. Goes high. Hits the glass. Midmo sends one down the ice, and that'll be an icing. As Rockhurst has had some great pressure on here. And of course, I forgot to start the clock again like I usually do at the beginning of a game, so I will get that set here. .12:33 left in the first period. Midmo sends one into the corner. Blasdell back, sends it around the boards. Riccardi back on the ice for the first time in a couple games. Good to see him out there. Riccardi coming up the boards. Gets over the red one, flips one right at the goaltender. Goaltender forced to handle that one. Handles it well. Cowan back to get it, puts on the brakes. Coming up the sideboards. Here comes Blasdell. Blasdell flips a high bouncer in on the goaltender. And that might look easy to save, but it's not going very fast, but that's a tough one. I will get synchronized on the clock here. 11:28 face-off. Coleman battling for it. Teven trying to slip one around. Goaltender doesn't let him have it. .11:17. Coleman facing off to the left, the goaltender. Coleman pulls it over. Callahan goes in, back to Corntager, long shot, goes wide. Callahan chasing into the corner, puts it back to the point for Corntager. Corntager flips one up high, batted down out of the air by Midmo. Teven dumps it back in. Rockhurst checks up and chases. Midmo taps one out to center. Callahan, McTavish chasing. And it looks like we have an icing here. As Midmo was feeling that pressure and they unloaded. So Rockhurst so far in this game doing a really good job keeping the pressure on Midmo. They are putting them back on their heels, so we need to see that this whole game. Christian facing off. Midmo takes it away. Midmo hustling down the side. Midmo tries to put a backhander on goal. Slow shot, drifts in. Houlihan grabs it. Face-off is going to be to the right of Houlihan. Face-off, Rockhurst, they pull it back. Midmo tries to center. Rockhurst breaks it up, shovels it through the neutral zone. Kress chasing. Christian with the puck. Drops it back to the defense. Back up to Christian. Kress Comes away with the loose puck. Back again to the D. Mid-Mo across the blue line. Broken up by Rockhurst. A lot of back and forth. These guys are getting after him. Nobody really getting a chance. Here comes Rockhurst. Christian down the sideboards. Mid-Mo sends it around behind the net. Press with the puck in the corner. Looking for the play. Gets it out. Christian broken up by Mid-Mo in the slot. McTavish hustles back. Pick up the loose puck. Kress has the puck, flips it in. Mid-Mo brings it down into the corner. Sends it around behind the net. Rockhurst gets it. Kress comes over the blue line. Kress with a shot deflected by the Mid-Mo defense. Corntager back on D. Mid-Mo coming with some speed. 3 skaters coming down on Rockhurst. Here comes Jones over the blue line. Trying to center. Comes in behind the goal. Riccardi chases into the corner. Takes the man into the corner. Mid-Mo comes out with the loose puck. Mid-Mo across the blue line, trying to center. Hits the side of the net, comes out. Cleared by Houlihan to the defense. Corntager picks it up at the blue line. He decides to dump it in and chase. Jones right behind him into the corner. Mid-Mo picks up another loose one, comes around behind the net. Mid-Mo, top of the circle, looking for a play. They drop it back to the defense. Shot goes wide. Rockhurst just trying to break it out. A lot of battling there. Teven finally gets it through. Chases. Long shot, stick save. Houlihan deflects it into the corner. Cowan brings it down ice. Callahan chases into the corner. Puck comes out. 2-on-1 opportunity for Mid-Mo. Coleman hustling back. Tavish hustling back, and that's a goal. So with 6:32 into the first period, Mid-Mo is first on the board. They got a little break there, picked up a loose puck, and they had a couple guys standing downwind there, and they were able to rush that one down. 6:32 left in the first period. Mid-Mo up by a score of 1-0. For the most part, Rockhurst has had the upper hand. But on that play, that's all it took was one play to get that 2-on-1 opportunity. Plump chasing. Mid-Mo bringing it in behind the net, tries to pass it back. Robinson gets it, tries to hit it out. Stopped at the blue line, shot on goal. Houlihan turns it back in behind the net. Here comes Christian, bringing it down the sideboards. Puts on the brakes, looking for a play. Sends it all the way back around. Shot on goal, and it's a goal. Great shot by Plump. So Plump able to knock that one in from the blue line. Hell of a shot there. That was really something. Good play by Rockhurst to set that one up and bring us right back in the game. We're at 5:45 left in the first period. It's all tied up. Christian comes out to center. Press. Robinson on the wings. McTavish, Corntager on D. Rockhurst pushes it through. Robinson, good effort, shot. Another quick shot. Nice hard shot by Rockhurst there to get that one. They brought that right off the face-off, pushed down through there, fired a quick shot. 5:35 left in the first period. Rockhurst pulls it back, keeps it in. Drop pass, Midmo intercepts. Robinson takes it right back. Back to the point, McTavish shoots, goes wide. Midmo and Rockhurst digging for it. Midmo finally gets it out, gets it into the neutral zone with a stretch pass. They come in, McTavish wards them off. Rockhurst trying to break it out of the zone. Robinson dumps it back. Press comes back to pick it up. Rockhurst finally clears the zone. Rockhurst, here comes some speed. Shot by Press. Nice shot. Looking for that upper corner. Glove saved by the Midmo goaltender. But that was a good heads-up shot there for Rockhurst. So 4:38 left. Tied up 1-1. Midmo clears the zone. Rockhurst trying to dump it back in. Deflected by Midmo. Cowan up to Blasdell. Midmo takes it away. Blasdell takes it right back. Nice little move there by Blasdell, trying to snake his way through, but gets picked off. Rockhurst all over the Midmo players. Midmo trying to move through. They push one down towards Houlihan, who jumps on it. And that will bring a pause in the action at exactly 4 minutes, according to the scoreboard. Face off to the right of Houlihan. Drawn back in behind the net by Rockhurst. Plump goes back to get it. Callahan on the sideboards. Here comes Coleman up the sideboards. Flips a long one in on the goaltender. Rockhurst fires one all the way down into the corner. Rockhurst trying to center, intercepted by Mid-Missouri. Poked away. Coleman coming around behind the net with some speed, gets it up to Teven. Teven gets Callahan on a breakaway. See what Callahan does? He shoots, he scores! Beautiful play. Beautiful play from Coleman to Teven to Callahan. Wow, from behind the Rockhurst own net. They connect the dots, bring it all the way down the ice, and that Puts Rockhurst in front by a score of 2-1. Beautiful play. Face off, center ice. 3:05 left. I'm not quite in sync, but mid-mode coming through the zone with some speed. Broken up by Rockhurst. Christian trying to drop it back to Kress. Christian shot. Saved by the mid-mo goaltender. So that'll bring up a face-off. I'm going to get synchronized here. All right, 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in this first period. Christian facing off. Horntager McTavish on defense. Robinson battling for it in the corner, tries to center, deflects up high, takes a funny bounce. Back to Horntager. Goaltender snags it. Horntager was putting the pressure on. 2 minutes, 11 seconds left in the first period. Rockhurst leading by a score of 2-1. Face off. Right of the goaltender. Rockhurst pushes it into the corner. Glasgow battling. Glasgow picks it up along the sideboards. Gets knocked into the boards there. No penalty. Mid-mo back at their own blue line. Bringing it through the neutral zone. Riccardi with a hit. No penalty. Maybe. We'll pause that. We are at 1:17. No, looks like that was clean. I'm not sure why they blew the whistle. Must have hit the netting or something. Coleman out facing off. Coleman gets to Teven. Teven fires one all the way down the ice, and that's going to be an icing. So that'll come right back to where they just faced off. So we got Coleman, Teven, Callahan on the forward line. Horntager, McTavish on D. Coleman pulls it back. Puck comes over to Horntager. Callahan trying to get it to Coleman. They don't connect. Mid-mo coming back through the zone. Shot. Glove down by Houlihan. Here comes Teven. He's got Coleman. Teven with a long high shot puts it in on goal. And that'll bring a face-off down into the mid-mo zone for Rockhurst. Looks like Rockhurst is going to change up the personnel. It's not a bad plan for Rockhurst to keep fresh legs out there. This mid-mo team can skate. Rockhurst needs to be fresh. Christian gets called out. Robinson comes in to take the face off. Press goes in to dig for it. Back to the point. Cowan battling for it. All the way across the ice. High stick. So let's see, we got 28 seconds left. I'm going the wrong way. 28 seconds left. Cowan up to Kress. Kress looking for that cross-ice pass. He hits Robinson. Can't quite hold on to the pass. Puts it down low. Christian circling. Shot! Good hard shot. Christian made that goalie look for it. We are just about over with the period here. And that will do it for the first period of play here, with Rockhurst leading the Midmo Tigers by a score of 2-1. Rockhurst looking good. Getting plenty of shots. Here, I'm just going to reset this whole thing for the second period. So we're going to the second period here. 15 minutes, this damn thing won't stop counting. There we go. Okay, Rockhurst leading by a score of 2-1. Rockhurst really looking strong today. With that one little breakdown where the Tigers took advantage of Rockhurst, but for the most part, Rockhurst has been putting the pressure on and keeping it on. And that's got to be the game plan for this. To play well against Mid-Missouri, you just got to take the game to them. You cannot be sitting back on your heels. You got to be taking it to them. And I think that's what Rockhurst is going to do. I think they hopefully have the confidence to keep playing that game plan. Don't give up. Take it to them. Rockhurst with a full roster for the first time in a couple of weeks. They're showing what they can do when they got their full roster together, and they're still missing one or two, but they're in pretty good shape. So Rockhurst sends out Coleman, Teven, Callahan, Corntager, McTavish on D. Midmo draws it back. Rockhurst chases. Coleman intercepts. Midmo somehow pushes it down into the end. Coleman digging for it. Midmo shoots one off the side of the net. Here comes Corntager. Always fun to watch him brush it up the ice. He gets all the way down, comes in from behind the net. Right in front of the net. Rockhurst couldn't quite get the handle on it. Rockhurst breaks up that rush. Corntager picks it up. Midmo along the sideboards. And it looks like Rockhurst has a trip coming up. And we do. So we are at 13:28. And it looks like we've got, who do we have going to the box? McTavish with a trip. So mid-Mo's going on the power play. Rockhurst will be short-handed here. Rockhurst wins the face-off over to the sideboards. Rockhurst needs to fire one down the ice, and they do. They drift one down to kill off a few seconds. Mid-Mo doesn't take long to come back the other direction. 3-on-2 opportunity for Mid-Mo. Centering, pass, right in front of the net. Houlihan defends. Rockhurst taps it out into the neutral zone, burns off a few more seconds. Coleman forechecking. Mid-Mo coming back through center ice. Coleman breaks it up. Mid-Mo sends it across the ice. Kress goes to get it. Hopefully he sends it down the ice. He's trying to. Mid-Mo comes up with a 2-on-2 situation. Mid-Mo decides to curl back, put on the brakes. They dump it in. Rockhurst coming around, trying to send it down the ice. Mid-Mo trying to center. Kress gets it. He flips it out. And what do we have? Do we have another penalty? Because that one got whistled just as soon as we touched the puck. It looks like we have another penalty. Let me get the time set here. 11:58. Rockhurst now going down with a 5-on-3 situation here. Mid-Mo, 5 skaters. Rockhurst, 3 skaters. Steven faces off. Mid-Mo pulls it back to the point. Mid-Mo at the top of the circle looking for a shot. Passes it over to the other circle. Mid-Mo coming in through the slot. Steven pressing. Mid-Mo trying to center. Callahan hustles over. Corntager gets it. Corntager flips it down the ice. Great play by Corntager. Okay, Rockhurst now has 4 players back on the ice. Steven Chasen puts one in on goal. Saved by the Missouri goaltender. Mid-Mo sends it back over to Corntager in the back. Corntager flips one up high in the air, bouncing, burning its way down the ice. Mid-Mo coming around with speed, coming through the neutral zone. Mid-Mo with a shot goes far wide. Mid-Mo trying to bring the wrap around. They're battling for it. One shot, Houlihan gives off a rebound, saves the second one. Another shot, bounces out in front. Houlihan dropped on it, and the ref blew the whistle. I think Houlihan got a break there. I think they thought he had his hand on it. I did too, but it kept squirting on out through. So we're at 10:39. 10:39 into the second period. 42 seconds left in the Rockhurst penalty. Face-off. Comes back to Mid-Mo. Rockhurst sends one up. Christian bounces it past him. Broken up by Mid-Mo. Now Mid-Mo coming back the other direction. Broken up by Rockhurst. Mid-Mo at the top of the circle. Broken up by Rockhurst. They get it out of the zone. That'll kill some time. Only 5 seconds left in the Rockhurst penalty. Kress, nice move there to steal that puck. Rockhurst sends one through. Mid-Mo with 2-on-2. Broken up by Rockhurst. Rockhurst sends a dribbler down the ice. That's not going to be an icing as it won't get there. Rockhurst full strength. 9:34 left in the second period. Puck comes back to McTavish. Mid-Mo badgering him all over the place. That looked like a trip, but I guess not. Mid-Mo trying to come through. Robinson picks it up at the blue line, looking for a shot. Gets one on goal. Goaltender handles it confidently with a glove save. So we are at 9:05. 9:05 left in the second period. Rockhurst leading by a score of 2-1. Face-off to the right of the Mid-Mo goaltender. Coleman comes out to take the face-off. Coleman behind the net centers. Shot by Teven. Nice setup there. Couldn't quite connect. Here comes Mid-Mo through the neutral zone. Rockhurst defending. Plump chasing him. Backhand pass. Back to Mid-Mo. Broken up. Teven comes away with it. Teven rushing down the ice. Callahan picks it up. Gets it over to Coleman. Coleman with a shot, hits traffic, kicked back out into the neutral zone. Rockhurst dumps it down into the zone. Oh, centering pass from Teven to Coleman got intercepted. Coleman was right there with open net. Coleman chasing in. Broken up by Teven at the blue line. Plump trying to get it out. Mid-Mo battling, keeping that puck in there. Shot on goal. Stick save by Houlihan, picked up by Cowan. That looked like a trip on Cowan, but they aren't calling that one. Pass to the slot. Save by Houlihan. Deflected away. And there's a whistle, and I'm not sure what that's for. We are at 7:23. 7:23 left in the second period. Rockhurst leading by a score of 2-1. Good game. A lot of back and forth. Both goaltenders earning their position this evening. Face-off is going to be to the left of Houlihan. Oh! Mid-Mo came away from the face-off with that puck. Brought it right down in. Little backhander goes sliding right in under Houlihan. And that will bring it to a tie game at 7:16. So that ties up the game at 7:16 left in the second period. Rockhurst with Jones, Riccardi. Mid-Mo sends it down in behind the net. Coming around the net, looking for a pass. Mid-Mo with a hard shot. Good save by Houlihan. Trying the wraparound. Tried the wraparound. They raised their sticks like they had a goal, but I didn't think they did. No. Houlihan scooped that up. You gotta love that Oscar-nominated type of acting there. You act like you got it. fake it till you make it. Here comes Kress coming down the ice. Brings it all the way into the corner, tries a centering pass. Slid right through the crease. Goaltender snagged it. So we're all tied up at 2-2 with 6:37 left in the second period. Callahan facing off. Drawn back to mid-Mo. Rockhurst trying to center. Drop the puck. Mid-Mo clears the zone. Cowan back to get it. Over to Klump. Klump tries to dump it. Hits the mid-Mo player. Cowan gets it again. Cowan puts a long one in on goal. Goaltender drops it out for his defense. Back to Rockhurst. Mid-Mo gets past Klump, coming in on goal with a shot. Saved. Mid-Mo tries to put it back to their point. It goes out of the zone. Mid-Mo in behind the net. Rockhurst finally getting control of it, getting out of the zone. Here comes Robinson. Dishes it up to Callahan. Callahan looking for a shot. Good shot. Deflection. Press on it. Couldn't quite get the handle on it. Back out to the point. McTavish trips. Mid-Mo taking advantage of that. They're coming in on goal. Broken up by Corntager. Great D. Corntager trying to send it out. Mid-Mo just keeps coming. Rockhurst finally clears the zone. Mid-Mo putting on some real pressure there. But Rockhurst recovering nicely. Some strong D. Here comes Mid-Mo. And Mid-Mo is offside there. So that's going to bring a break in the action. I think Rockhurst was probably looking for that. So 4:36 left. Looks like we'll have Coleman, Callahan, and Teven on the front line. Puck is dropped. Coleman picks it up at the blue line, trying to bounce it up to Teven. Teven gets it. Dumps it all the way in. Callahan chases. Callahan back to Teven. Dumps it down in on goal. Back to Corntager. Corntager sends it around. Mid-Mo trying to break it out. Corntager keeps it in. Coleman again keeps it in. Shot on goal. Glove save by the Mid-Mo goaltender. So Rockhurst with some great pressure. This line's putting some good pressure on these guys tonight. 3:58. Score tied up 2-2. 3:58 left in the second period. Rockhurst keeps the same front line on. Coleman wins the face-off, chases it down in behind the net, tries to center. It's even. Broken up by Mid-Missouri. Corntager rushing it. Shot on goal. Mid-Mo clears the zone. Coming through the zone. Shot on goal, saved by Callahan, or saved by Houlihan. So we are at 3:27. Score tied up 2-2. Rockhurst with a full change of all personnel. Getting some fresh skaters out there. Face off. Mid-Mo comes up with it, tries to get a shot, couldn't get the handle on it. Riccardi coming up the sideboards. Riccardi drops one down into the corner. Mid-Mo coming out. Klump dropping back. Klump chases. Shot attempt broken up by Klump. Mid-Mo behind the net. They're going to try a wraparound. Rockhurst comes away with it. Cross ice pass up to Riccardi. Riccardi drops to Blasdel. Blasdel breaks through. He's looking for the play. Gets deflected. Pops up in the air. Back to Klump in the neutral zone. Klump hits his own player. Klump trying to fire one down. He does. We got a roller just kind of drifting down in behind the net. Mid-Mo picks it up. Blasdel chasing. Robinson chasing. Mid-Mo puts one in on that, and that's a glove save by Houlihan. So we're at 2:07. 2:07 left in the second period, all tied up, 2-2. Good game, a lot of back and forth, a lot of good shots, a lot of good opportunities, and a couple of fumbles. Shot by Mid-Mo off the face-off. Mid-Mo coming over the blue line. Crest chasing. Horntager trying to break it up. Mid-Mo from the top of the circle, broken up. Nice play by Rockhurst to break up that opportunity. Here comes Christian coming across the blue line. Christian with a hard, high shot. Just goes wide. And it looks like we have an offside there. I think the puck came out. Rockhurst tried to push it back in. So it looks like we're going to have a face-off right in front of the Rockhurst bench here with 1:26. 1:26 left to go. Christian facing off. Mid-Mo coming over the blue line. Clear shot. Deflected by Houlihan up into the glass. Mid-Mo coming in. Close quarter shot on goal, deflected by Houlihan back behind the net. Puck drifts over to Houlihan. Mid-Mo pushing hard to get that puck in front of the net. A lot of pressure there. 57 seconds left. Rockhurst sends out some fresh legs to try to defend here. Mid-Mo clearly with the momentum there in the last few seconds as they smell that goal. Coleman comes out to take the face off. Teven comes back to help defend. Mid-Mo just all over it. Good glove save by Houlihan. So Mid-Mo keeping that pressure up, keeping the shots on the goal. Rockhurst needs to get control of that puck and get it out of there. Get the puck out of there. 46 seconds left. Coleman facing off. Scrum down in the corner. Hard to see what's going on. Like Teven came away with it. Callahan picks it up on the other side, trying to hit Coleman on the breakaway, but didn't happen. Callahan over here on the near side now. Teven chasing. Mid-Mo putting it down in low. 15 seconds left. Coleman chasing. Midmo flips it up high in the air just to get it out of their zone. Callahan pats one back down. And it looks like that will be it for the period. So after 2 periods of play, we've got a great game on here. A lot of activity. Both teams with some really good plays. A lot of back and forth. Both teams with plenty of opportunities. Goaltending has been really good. Both goaltenders coming up with plenty of saves. And I'm looking forward to this third period here. This should be a good one. I'm expecting it to be pretty fast-paced and a lot of activity. So I'm going to turn the speaker off here for about 10 or 15 minutes. We'll be back with you when the third period is ready to start. In the meantime, enjoy the Zamboni operation here at Independence Ice Center. There they go. We're going to have about 15 minutes of that. When you see the fresh ice and the players come back out, I'll be here too. Talk to you soon. All right, Rockhurst hockey fans, we're back for the third and final period here at the Independence Community Ice Center. Game is all tied up 2-2. Rockhurst Hawklets versus the Mid-Missouri Tigers. Rockhurst in the blue, Mid-Missouri, of course, in the familiar Tigers uniforms. It's been a great game so far. It's like Rockhurst sending out Coleman, Teven, and Callahan on the first line to take the face-off. Coleman wins the face-off. Back to Klump. Mid-Missouri breaks through. Cowan back to get it. Rockhurst breaks it up. Callahan to Coleman. Coleman with a long shot. Stick save by Mid-Missouri. Coleman picks it up, taking it down low. Looking to center. Can't quite connect with Teven. Right idea. Mid-Missouri coming back through. Coleman chasing him down. Ties him up. Klump goes back and retrieves the puck. Callahan up to Coleman. Coleman can't quite get the handle on it. Mid-Mo sends it all the way down behind the Rockhurst goal. Robinson out on the ice. Callahan comes across, quick shot, high, goes wide. Robinson chasing in around the corner. Callahan digging in the corner. Pass comes out. Cowan looking for a shot. Good high, hard shot. Just goes wide. McTavish trying to keep it in. Mid-Mo finally gets a hold of it. Sends it back into their own end to regroup. Corntager coming across the red line. Corntager center's just broken up by Mid-Mo, but it comes out again. Rockhurst with another shot. Rockhurst keeping the pressure on. Kress with a shot. And he's taken down, and I believe we're going to get a couple of penalties here. Of course, I forgot to start the clock. So the fans have some opinions on what kind of penalties should be called. We are at 12:51. Stupid clock. .12:51. Looks like Rockhurst has one in the box. Mid-Mo, I believe, has two in the box. So it looks like Rockhurst has been called. Robinson has a penalty. No, they took that off. Mid-Mo has 20. We might have a pair of 2 and 10s. It looks like Rockhurst came away on the upper end of that one. Rockhurst with 4 skaters. Corntager, shot, deflected by Midmo. They turn it around, coming back through the neutral zone. Nice attempted poke check, shot, and a goal. So Midmo evens that one up, or on a shorthanded play. Rockhurst with Coleman, Callahan, and Teven. Coleman brings it through. Callahan with the puck coming over the blue line. Long, high shot. Tavish sends it down around the corner. Callahan chasing. Comes back to Corntager. Corntager shoots, hits traffic. Midmo ices one all the way down the ice. So that was a costly goal there for Rockhurst as they gave up a shorthanded goal. Drop pass off to Coleman. Coleman coming over the blue line. Coleman trying to dish it to Teven, broken up. And that looks like that's going to be a trip on Rockhurst. So that's going to very quickly negate the 1 minute advantage we had left. 11:46 left in the third period. McTavish goes to the box for 2 minutes for a trip. Face-off is going to be to the left of Houlihan. Now we got 4-on-4 hockey. The next 1 minute, and then theoretically Rockhurst will be one man down for 1 minute. Midmo shot, goes wide, press back to chase it, sends it around the boards. Rockhurst trying to dish it out of the zone. Plump sending it up. Rockhurst sends one down. It is 4-on-4 hockey, so we're all even up, no icing. Midmo coming around behind the net, keeping control. Midmo cross ice pass, top of the circle, shot, blocked by Klump. Klump battling. Kress picks it up. Midmo coming around from behind the net with the speed, coming through the neutral zone, over the blue line. Hard, high shot, blocker save by Houlihan, goes up into the netting. So Midmo putting the pressure on here. Midmo is now done with their penalty. They have served their time. Rockhurst still has 1 minute left in their penalty. Face-off. Callahan takes it. Back to the blue line. Broken up by Callahan. Midmo at the top of the circle. Back to the point. Long, high shot. Glove save by Houlihan. .10:33 left. Third period. Face-off. Callahan battling for it. Midmo tries to get a shot, deflected. Midmo coming in through the slot, dishes it down into the corner. Shot from the top of the slot, bounce around in front of the net. Rockhurst comes away with it, gets it up to Callahan. Callahan fires one all the way down the ice. We are short-handed right now, so we can send it down the ice. And they do. Only 10 seconds left on the Rockhurst penalty. If Rockhurst could just kind of fend them off here for a little bit. Callahan brings it around, flips one up high in the air. Rockhurst clears the zone. Rockhurst is now at full strength. So both teams trying to regroup here, get their regular lines back on. Mid-Mo sends one all the way down the ice, and that should be an icing, and it is. So hopefully Rockhurst has their regular lines organized here, or something close to it. Mid-Mo wins the face-off, rushes it out of the zone. Mid-Mo centering, Houlihan all over it. And we got a little skirmish in front of the net there. Houlihan not putting up with any crap. Looks like we got Klump going to the box. As Mid-Mo is getting after him, and we've got a Mid-Mo player going to the box too. Mid-Mo got a little aggressive on, it's okay to poke at that thing and try to find a loose puck, but you can only go so far with it. And Klump wasn't taking any part of it. So with Mid-Mo leading by a score of 3-2, we got 9:09. And we got 4-on-4 hockey. Rockhurst brings it into the neutral zone. Robinson trying to push it up to Callahan. Callahan picks it up, back to the blue line. Callahan dumps it in. And it looks like we're going to have a trip right there. It didn't take long for that whistle to blow as Robinson was going after the puck, got his stick tangled up on the other player's feet. And so they're only showing 1 2-minute penalty, which indicates to me the first penalties were perhaps so Rockhurst is short-handed at this point. Callahan trying to break it out. Coleman picks it up, coming through. Shot. Coleman goes wide. Back to Cowan. Mid-Mo breaking it out. Tavish back. And we've got something going on. I don't know what it is. See what the ref calls. Both teams had players go to the box. Rockhurst still has a minute 20 on their minute 28 on their initial penalty. Rockhurst with 3 guys in the box. Mid-Mo with 2 guys in the box. Mid-Mo leading by a score of 3-2. 8:13 left. Everyone waiting for what the wise ones with the striped jerseys will tell us. Okay, we might have got some 2 and 10s there. I'm not sure. I can't even tell. Rockhurst looks like they have 4 skaters. Midmo has 5 skaters. Rockhurst sends out Coleman, Teven, Horntager, and McTavish. Coleman pushes it through. Midmo picks it up, broken up by Teven. Coleman chasing. Midmo, top of the circle, trying to dish one over to the center. Here comes Horntager. Horntager and Teven. Horntager moving through. Cleared off by the goaltender. Horntager still chasing Teven with the puck. And what do we have now? Now Mid-Missouri has one going to the penalty box. So we had a pretty clean, fast-moving game for the most part up until just a few minutes ago, and now we're getting penalties every minute or so. We have 7:44 on the clock. Rockhurst with 4 skaters. Midmo with 4 skaters. Midmo sends one around behind the net. Teven chasing. Coleman goes into the corner. Teven picks it up, sends it back around the net. 4-on-4 situation here. Coleman tying him up along the sideboards. Coleman battling for it in there. Teven comes in to help. Teven comes away with it. Midmo takes it away. Rockhurst hustling back. Puck drifts in. Midmo thinking a poke check is a penalty, so they're a little off on that. Horntager shoots one high. Midmo goaltender snags it down. I gotta say, these Midmo fans get certainly excited about the slightest little sneeze. It's clearly not a penalty. Cowan trying to shoot the puck. It was going high and wide, but the goaltender snagged it anyway. Cowan sends it down into the corner. Midmo trying to send it out. Rockhurst is now full strength. Shot. Party. Midmo sends it all the way down the ice, which they can, and Midmo gets there first. They hustle down the ice to pick that up. McTavish comes away with it. Here comes Kress moving through center ice. Kress maneuvering, drops it for Christian. Christian, backhand. Cowan sends it down into the corner. Midmo trying to bring it around the boards. They can't. Cowan with the puck at the blue line. Trying to send it in, hits traffic. Midmo sends one all the way down the ice. That's not going to be an icing. McTavish gets there first. Sends it up to Christian. Press. Comes back to pick up the loose puck. Trying to send it up to Robinson. Long shot, deflected, goes up into the glass, comes out in front of the goal, bouncing around. Another high shot, deflected up in behind the goal, and there's a trip. All right, so we had a pretty obvious trip there on Midmo. I don't think it was anything malicious, but you got to stick up in the skates, and that's all it takes. So 4:51 left in the third period. Looks like Rockhurst may have called the timeout. I think they're going to strategize here. They've got a one-man advantage for 2 minutes, unless they can put the puck in net pretty quickly here. Midmo leading by a score of 2-1, or 3-2. Rockhurst trying to figure out how to even up this game. I'm sure they're going to figure out, they're going to pull out all the stops on this this power play. Whole mission is to get one in. They need to get the tying goal here. We're going to send out a goal scoring unit, no doubt. Certainly get some playmakers out there. 5-on-4. I don't know that they'll pull the goaltender yet, but that would be a bold move, but it wouldn't surprise me. Coleman centering. Teven, Callahan. Rockhurst wins the face-off, sends it back down in. Back to Corntager. Corntager trying to dump it back down to Teven. Teven back to Corntager. Corntager trying to set it up. Shot on goal. Rebound bouncing around there. Back over to Corntager. Corntager looking for a shot. Shoots it in, deflected, just misses Coleman. Corntager, Midmo finally gets it out of the zone. Corntager comes back to chase it. Bounced off the boards. Comes up to Coleman. Coleman over the blue line. Corntager back at the blue line. Midmo sends it all the way down the ice, right on goal. Callan comes back to get it. Callan up to Christian. Cross-ice pass to Teven. Takes a funny bounce off the boards. And they're going to call that an icing because they did not connect. That's too bad. They had Teven wide open on this near side here. So we're at 3:49. 3:49 left in the game. Rockhurst needing to score. Minute left in the power play for Rockhurst. Press comes away with it. Sends it up to Blasdell. Blasdell trying to get it to Christian. Mid-Missouri intercepts. McTavish back to get it. Gets it over to Kress. Kress coming through with some speed. Kress picks it up the Rockhurst blue line. Up to Christian. Christian over the blue line. 3 players converge on him. Christian still battling for it down in the corner. Coming around behind the net. Getting hit every step of the way. Mid-Mo finally fires it down the ice, and that's going to burn off the end of their shorthanded situation. So the Rockhurst power play has come to an end. Robinson hustling back, picks up the puck in the zone. Puck takes a funny bounce, goes up in the air. McTavish slides through it, picks one off right in front of the goal, bouncing around in a weird way. Mid-Mo from the front of the net. That puck was just bouncing all over the place. Mid-Mo finally got a hold of it, sent it out to the front of the net, and that's going to put Mid-Mo up by a score of 4-2. Two minutes, 9 seconds left in the game. That just took everybody was just whacking at that thing, and finally Mid-Mo got a hold of it and sent it out in front of the net. Pretty easy to score a goal from 6 feet away, but sometimes that's the way the puck bounces. We have Coleman, Robinson, Teven. Mid-Mo across the blue line, shot, and they blew the whistle on that one. I didn't think Houlihan had it, but he sure made it look like he did. Not sure what happened there. So we've got a minute 36 left. I would suspect. Okay, it looks like we've got a Mid-Mo timeout. I would suspect that if Rockhurst gets the chance, they're going to pull the goaltender. This face-off is going to be right in front of Houlihan, to the right of Houlihan. I think if Rockhurst can get this thing out of the zone, I would expect to see Houlihan heading for the net, or heading for the bench. Mid-Mo leading by a score of 4-2. It's been a good game. It's unfortunate that Rockhurst is in this position, but I've been expecting to make a good hard charge here right at the end of the game. I fully expect them to make a good hard charge. Coleman centering. Coleman pulls it back to the defense. Mid-Mo coming over the blue line. Puck bouncing around the net. Mid-Mo batting at it. Here comes Coleman, 3-on-2 opportunity here with Coleman and Robinson. Corntager puts on the brakes, and Houlihan heads for the bench. Rockhurst coming out with 6 skaters, but that's too little, too late. And Mid-Mo able to intercept that and put it in on the empty net with 56 seconds left. So that was an unfortunate bounce there. Mid-Mo comes away with it right after Houlihan left the net. Digging for it in the corner. 10 seconds left. Mid-mo just trying to clear it down the ice. They send one down the ice, and that's going to be an icing with 6 seconds left. Not a lot we can do at this point. Down by a score of 5-2. This will probably be the final face-off of the game. And that does it for the game here from Community Ice, the Independence Community Ice Center. Final score, Mid-Missouri Tigers 5, Rockhurst Hawkins 2. So it was certainly better than the last meeting. Rockhurst holding the lead for quite a while. Kept the game close, just couldn't quite get some of the pucks into the net. So that's going to do it. This was the final regular scheduled game of the year for Rockhurst Hawkins. Our next game will be Friday evening, I believe, as we have the Mid-America Hockey Association tournament is beginning on Friday evening. The schedule comes out tomorrow, so keep an eye out. See when the games are, but Rockhurst is here. We'll be here with the video, and we will see you then. So for right now, we're signing off from the Independence Community Ice Center, and we will see you soon.